My oldest, Kimuraya, she's 11 now, and she's starting to be able to help in a lot of ways. We only have a one-bedroom place. I'm in pain. I'm breathing heavy, and it just hurts to sit up.
On My 600-Pound Life, some journeys begin with hope and determination, but not all end that way. Along the road to recovery, certain stories take shocking twists that no one could have predicted. These dark turns reveal the hidden struggles behind the cameras and the painful realities of the fight for change. Today, we uncover the My 600-Pound Life stories that took a tragic and unexpected turn.
I've gotten so big that it's hard to do just about anything, and every day it gets worse. I'm almost completely bedbound now, but I have 2 young kids that I have to take care of.
Mercedes lies completely immobilized, her life confined to a bed that has become both her prison and her coffin in waiting. What makes this image even more devastating is the sight of her 11-year-old daughter stepping into the role of caretaker. This child isn't just helping, she's running the household, dressing her younger brother, and carrying responsibilities no child should ever bear. It's more than sad. It's an unfolding family emergency of the highest order. What we are witnessing is not simply a stalled life, it's one already collapsing under the unbearable weight of addiction and neglect.
Eating does that. It takes all the misery that I have and pushes it away. So once I finally start, I just want to keep going and eat as much as possible. So shortly after Terry leaves, my sister Tanika will come by and check on me and bring me lunch.
The enabling around Mercedes is staggering. After she musters an exhausting, humiliating effort just to clean herself, you'd think support would mean health. Instead, her friend Terry strolls in with sausage and bacon, practically cooking destruction on a platter. Moments later, her sister arrives with an oversized lunch, as if competing to see who can sabotage her most. This isn't love, it's complicity dressed up as care. These people aren't helping her survive. They're hand-delivering poison with smiles. In this environment of constant indulgence, Mercedes has no hope of progress. She's drowning, and her loved ones are handing her bricks.
It started with touching, and then it was more until it was intercourse. And it wasn't just me, it was my sisters too. But I didn't know that at the time. But all of it down. Abuse made me feel robbed of my innocence and made me feel sad, made me feel dirty.
Then comes the backstory that explains everything. Mercedes reveals years of prolonged sexual abuse at the hands of her own father, a betrayal so monstrous it rewired her world. Food became the only comfort she could cling to, the armor she used to protect herself from further harm. Every pound she gained was a shield, every binge another layer of defense against memories too agonizing to confront. This is not simply overeating. It is survival twisted into destruction. The abused child grew into a 600-pound adult, her body still carrying the scars of a trauma she never escaped.
And that'll be the end for me. I'll be basically just going back home to die. And I eat myself to death and leave my kid, but I can't let that happen.
The first road trip to Houston becomes an emotional implosion. Mercedes sobs from the pain of the journey, but buried beneath the tears is something darker. She cries that if this program fails, she'll return home and eat herself to death, leaving her children motherless. On the surface, it's heartbreaking, but dig deeper and it reads as a manipulative script, a way of absolving herself of responsibility before the fight even begins. This isn't the defiance of a warrior. It's resignation disguised as suffering, a pre-written excuse for failure long before the real battle has even started.
Yeah, I eat, but I don't eat like all the time. I just eat not the right stuff.
What do you mean you don't eat all the time? You eat, for your height, you should be 150 pounds. So you have over 600 pounds of excess weight.
Mercedes insists she barely eats, maybe one meal a day after 3 in the afternoon. The look on Dr. Now's face says it all. Nonsense. He cuts her off, pointing out the mathematical impossibility of weighing over 700 pounds on such a claim. Then, the truth slips. She's been downing 2 or 3 2-liter sodas every single day. Suddenly, the picture is clear. Her words are lies, her reality undeniable. Dr. Now's bluntness slices through the fog, delivering the brutal honesty her enablers never could. It's a cold, necessary awakening.
Now I have to focus on getting home because it's going to be a long journey back. So I can't start to diet now because food was a big part of what got me. And I'll need that same help and that same boost to get me back.
So, after receiving her diet plan, her literal lifeline from Dr. Now, what is Mercedes's immediate resolution? Does she pledge to start right away? Of course not. Her first thought is that she can't possibly start the diet yet. Why? Because the long, painful car ride back home is just too much, and she'll need the comfort of all her favorite bad foods to endure it. She has decided to defy the doctor's orders before the ink is even dry on the paperwork. This is peak addiction logic. It's a blatant act of defiance that shows just how monumental the battle ahead is going to be.
And now you show up, and not only did you not lose anything, you gained 8 pounds. So you want to tell me what's going on?
I know it's no excuse, but my cousin, he left, and we didn't get to get food before he left, so I had to order in.
8 months later, the results are catastrophic. At her weigh-in, Mercedes has not lost weight. She's gained it back. Her excuse? She lives in a so-called no-salad zone, claiming healthy food just isn't available. A no-salad zone? Dr. Now, unimpressed, calls it one of the most ridiculous excuses he's ever heard. His frustration boils over as he warns her that her body is a ticking time bomb, every organ straining toward collapse. His patience, once thin, is now gone. He lays down his final ultimatum, a last desperate attempt to cut through her fortress of excuses.
Because the thing she told me to do that I really want to do, telling Kimuraya how I feel, and that I'm sorry for taking a part of her childhood.
After Dr. Now's ultimatum, we get a glimmer of something. Under the guidance of her therapist, Mercedes finally does one of the therapeutic homework assignments. She writes a heartfelt letter of apology to her daughter Kimuraya for forcing her to be a caretaker instead of a child. It's a deeply emotional and seemingly sincere moment. For a second you think, wow, maybe this is the breakthrough she needs. But is it? Is this a genuine change of heart? Or is it just a single emotional act in a much larger pattern of avoidance? Given her track record, this moment of hope feels incredibly fragile, like it could shatter at any moment.
That's why I limited you to 3 months maximum to get you back here to follow up. You didn't listen to that either. But if we run the test on you, it's gonna be even worse now.
The final chapter arrives with grim inevitability. After a full year, the total loss amounts to a meager 80 pounds. For someone at her size, it is failure, plain and simple. Dr. Now looks exhausted, his disappointment clear. He tells her she has wasted the year, let her health decline further, and pushed her body, especially her heart, to the brink of collapse. The verdict is crushing. She's out of chances. Her only hope is to be forcibly hospitalized just to stay alive. The opportunity was there, the tools in her hands, but she squandered it all. A heartbreaking, wasted chance. This is June's story. Melissa Morris can no longer take care of herself. She says that she lives in a nightmare because she is in constant pain. She looks at her and feels like she is some monster that came from another. She is always in constant pain, and trust me when I say she's insane. She is 43 pounds and is close to 600 pounds, and she has no idea how she got to this level. This is how June's story begins.
And I don't know how much more I can actually put on my knee. It is just difficult to do anything on my own. I have to get my girlfriend Sadie to help bathe me and make sure I'm clean.
Damn, imagine having to go through all of this every morning. That explains why she hates her life and feels like she lives in a nightmare. June's weight does not allow her to do anything. She can't even stand for long because she runs out of breath and feels like she might fall at any given time. Thankfully, she has a girlfriend who helps her do the things she can't do by herself.
But I feel like my body is going to give out at any moment. When I'm walking through the house, I have to sit down and rest, but I only have 3 places I can sit.
That's really, really sad. June says that she never imagined that this would be the life she was going to have. There are only 3 places in her house that can contain her size: her bee, the toilet seat, and her chair. The worst part is that she feels like she moves from a chair coffin to her bed coffin because her body is giving up on her day by day.
That my weight got out of control. 4 years ago, my whole world came crashing down. My son, Mac, was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Being around people he had no business being around, and he was shot and killed.
I don't think there's anybody who wouldn't shut down if they found out that their child was dead. June never struggled with her weight while growing up. Where the problem started was when she lost her son and her whole world came crashing down. She couldn't deal with the trauma, and the only place she found peace and felt happy was in the company of food.
Always have, always will. And now and then, I do say, I'm just not gonna go get, okay, I have a self. So either you're gonna do it or I'm gonna do it. Take your pick.
Men, her girlfriend is in a very bad situation. She doesn't want to get June upset. She knows that the things that June asked her to get are bad for her health, but due to the fact that she doesn't want her and June to have a disagreement, she gets her those things anyway. Phew, that must be such a hard thing to do.
I had an order and came through drive-thru, and you guys didn't put an item in the bag at all.
She acts like an addict, and her fix is food.
All right, thank you. If my son saw me right now, it will hurt him.
Well, it looks like June finally understands that if she doesn't change the way she eats and get help as soon as possible, she might not be on Earth for much longer. This might be the big push she needs to go and see Dr. Now down in Houston and get the help she needs. That's a very good start if you ask me.
You want me in front of you, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can even make it down the steps. I'm literally fighting for my life right now. I've been in the hospital over 20 times in the last 3 years.
Wow. June says that she has been in the hospital almost 20 times within the last 3 years. And out of the 20 times that she has been to the hospital, no doctor has been able to help her with her situation. This makes her skeptical and scared that meeting Dr. Now could end the same way for her.
The worst thing I can find out right now is my weight is too high and the doctor can't help me. It's shocking. It's actually disturbing. I really wasn't ready for that.
Hello.
Hello.
That weight definitely took her by surprise. She couldn't believe the scale read that she was almost 600 pounds. Now she is even more scared that Dr. Now might not be able to help her, and he might not put her on the weight loss program. Well, fingers crossed, I guess. Let's see what the doc has to say about her situation.
She does everything that you ask her.
Pretty much. I'm bossy.
Or she gets someone else if I don't.
Or I get someone else to do it.
Partner is enabling her, but she's not overweight. When an enabler is not participating in poor eating habits, they often feel this is a form of control.
Let's be honest, that's actually very concerning. June tells the doc that she has had a heart attack in the past and a major stroke and is currently under 20 different medications to keep her body and organs going. Phew, if she's going to be put on the weight loss program, she really needs to cut down on her weight. She can't go under the needle having all this to deal with.
If I send you home, maybe last time I see you. So I'm going to admit you to hospital immediately to make sure that you're not close to another stroke or worse right now.
And that honestly does not come as a surprise. Dr. Now is really worried about her health, and he feels like if he sends her home, that might be the last time he gets to see her. He is admitting her to the hospital immediately to watch her and make sure that she is not close to having another stroke. If things seem okay, he is going to put her on a diet and then see if she truly wants to lose weight.
About strawberries, maybe once or twice a day. Only 1 or 2.
We want to eliminate sugar as much as possible.
The strawberries, I'm being very honest with you. Strawberries are my addiction.
I don't think June grasps the gravity of her situation.
Well, it looks like June does not have much of a choice right now. Her body is heavily malnourished, and she has to get her body back to a very healthy state before she can have surgery done. The doc wants her to get back in shape within the next month, or else there is nothing more he can do for her.
She still has her partner taking care of her. That enabling dynamic hasn't changed. But despite her pushback to the program, we stuck with it, and she made some progress over the month.
That's amazing. June has been in the hospital for over a month now, and from the look of things, she has made some pretty decent progress. She has lost over 50 pounds, and she seems to be in a condition that's good enough to head back home. The doc wants to see if she can lose weight on her own without the help of the doctors at the hospital.
I'm nervous about seeing the doctor today. I hope I got down 5 pounds. It's been a hard month. I have to admit, I did cheat, but if I could just get this surgery, it would change my life.
There's no other way to put it. The doc is right. June gained weight because she didn't stick to the diet and also did not exercise like she was supposed to. The doc wanted her to lose at least 5 pounds to see if she was ready for the weight loss surgery. Sadly, she gained 20 pounds, and the doc is not impressed with her progress at all.
I gained them 20 pounds, and I'm wrong for that. I feel some of it's lymphedema in the water, but I believe I am a good candidate for you to do surgery on me, and I will be a great success for me.
Well, yes, it's easier said than done. June tries to convince Dr. Now that she is a good candidate for weight loss surgery, and she knows she can do better. The doc then tells her to lose the 20 pounds she has gained in 2 weeks before he agrees to approve her for weight loss surgery. Let's see if she can do just that.
I realize if I don't push myself, I will never lose this weight, and I'll never get surgery. When I feel like I'm about ready to give up, my motivation kicks right back in, like, Then my son in the back of my head is like, Ma, keep it moving.
I'm not going to lie, June has been doing so well with the diet and exercises. She has stuck to them, and now she feels like she is ready for weight loss surgery. Well, the scale is going to be the judge of that. Her next appointment is soon, and now we will see if she is ready for her weight loss surgery.
Any problem with your diet or anything?
Actually, no. I am doing awesome. I'm walking early in the morning, walking at night. I'm actually going down the steps. And what don't you see in front of me?
You missing something?
Yeah, I'm missing something.
What?
The walker.
This is Nikki's journey. Nikki says she feels imprisoned inside her own body. She despises her body and finds it hard to believe that it has turned into what it is today. At just 33 years old, she weighs close to 700 pounds. Her mornings are honestly the hardest because of the extreme pain she experiences. Hopefully, the doctor will be able to provide the help she desperately needs for her condition. This is where her journey begins.
It's so heavy that it gets in the way of even getting in and out of the shower is exhausting. To just squeeze myself in there takes all my breath away.
I won't lie, for a moment, I honestly thought she was trapped in the restroom. Wow, Nikki is a very beautiful woman, but it's heartbreaking that she has to endure all this. She says she rarely looks at herself in the mirror anymore because of how large she has become. Every glance at her reflection reminds her of the weight, and it leaves her feeling deeply unhappy.
When I start my day, I can't wait to start. Dad will make me a plate and send it up to me so I don't have to go downstairs again until breakfast.
That seems to be the root of her struggle. Nikki's mother admits Nikki has battled food addiction for most of her life. She even says Nikki once confessed that eating is the one thing she can never control. Wanting to avoid conflict and prevent Nikki from getting upset, her mom usually gives in to whatever she asks for. In truth, her mother's behavior makes her a clear enabler of Nikki's unhealthy habits.
I was a happy kid, but I know that I started gaining weight when I was about 4. And by the time I was 10 years old, I weighed 140 pounds.
You can see it right in his eyes. Tears are close. Nikki's father admits he has questioned himself many times about the difference between truly helping his daughter and simply enabling her behavior. All he knows now is that he feels like he is watching her fade away day by day, losing her piece by piece. It crushes him, seeing his daughter slowly eat herself to death. That is truly every parent's biggest nightmare.
So my parents tried probably hundreds of attempts to help me lose weight, and it was just depressing and sad to me. Part of me felt like what was wrong with me.
That helps explain her complicated relationship with food. Nikki and her mother have always had a rocky connection when it comes to her body. From the start, her mother disliked her size and wanted her slim. Nikki tried every option she could, but nothing worked. The weight refused to leave. Over time, this made Nikki believe her mother didn't really love her or accept her for who she was at all.
My mom and my dad and my brother Chris, because living on my own is just too difficult. Chris has cerebral palsy, and in many instances, my limitations far exceed his, and that's a big statement.
Man, I can't lie, that was painful to hear. Nikki also has a brother with a disability, and this makes her feel extremely guilty. Her parents have to spend more of their time and energy on her because of how much she weighs, and this often leaves her brother's needs overlooked. That situation weighs heavily on Nikki's mind. She truly needs to consider seeing the doctor as quickly as she possibly can.
The walk back to where we work is a very long way, and so I have to park in the loading dock, and I'll have someone open the door for me. It's getting more and more difficult to go to work.
Wow, it turns out Nikki's overeating doesn't just threaten her health. Her eating addiction also puts her career at serious risk. With each passing day, she feels capable of doing less and less, while her job still demands so much from her. The reality is, if Nikki doesn't begin losing weight and improving her health soon, she could very well lose her job too. That pressure only makes her situation even more difficult to handle.
There's a great deal of anxiety in terms of whether she would actually be accepted in the program. If Nikki isn't accepted, I don't think she's going to live much longer.
Well, the good thing now is the fact that Nikki has made the decision to pay the doc a visit. Her dad says that if the doc can't help her, this might be the end of the line for Nikki. Right now, his only hope is that Dr. Now can actually help his daughter and she can go back to having a normal life.
We've been in the car for 8 hours. Right now, I'm just ready to get out and meet the doctor. It's been a long time since I've checked my weight.
Wow, that news sent a shiver down her spine. The number on the scale was nothing she expected. She finally reached the hospital, and the scale revealed that she currently weighs 650 pounds. Considering that she is only 33 years old, that figure is incredibly high for her age. It is a shocking reality check. Now the big question is, what exactly exactly will Dr. Now think of her actual weight?
Take some personal responsibility, and your parents need to show that they can stop enabling you before you're ready. I'm going to start you on 1,200 calorie a day diet. Then you should be able to lose 50 pounds or next month.
At this stage, the responsibility rests with Nikki. Dr. Now makes it clear she isn't in a safe condition to undergo weight loss surgery. He places her on a strict diet and instructs her to avoid all foods that could cause more weight gain. He also sets a requirement for her to lose 50 pounds over the next month. Only then will she be able to show she's ready for the surgery.
It's been a tough few weeks. When we got home from seeing the doctor, the first thing we did was get rid of the food that was not on the diet. It was really hard to let some of that go.
It's wonderful to see Nikki's parents stepping in to help her stick to the diet. Nikki is determined to follow every instruction exactly as the doctor prescribed. I really appreciate that her parents are walking beside her throughout this entire weight loss journey. It looks like she finally has all the emotional and practical support she could ever need. The big question now is how much she manages to lose before the follow-up.
It's to qualify for surgery.
587.
Is that the real number?
That's the number.
Yeah, thank you. I worked so hard to do this. To see it pay off is incredible.
I couldn't hide my excitement either when she stepped onto the scale again. This was Nikki's second appointment, and she managed to drop over 50 pounds. That is a huge accomplishment. Without doubt, Dr. Now is going to be pleased with how far she has come already. But before we celebrate too much, the real test remains. Will she actually be approved for the weight loss surgery she has been fighting for?
Chest X-ray indicate that you may have what we call a pulmonary hypertension.
What does that mean?
That means your weight has affected your heart, and your heart is not able to transport enough oxygen for your body.
That's both positive and disappointing at once. Nikki did succeed in hitting her target, but the doctor explained that to proceed with surgery, she needs to slim down even further. So his new instruction is for her to shed another 50 pounds within the following month. If she succeeds again, then she will finally be cleared to move forward and undergo the life-changing weight loss surgery she has been working toward.
Because this next doctor's visit is my last chance. This has been a really hard couple of months. My goal was to lose another 50 pounds and get below 550.
Wow, this is truly inspiring. Nikki has proven she is capable of far more than she thought. At first, she was crushed when the doctor said her body wasn't stable enough for surgery, but she worked hard, dropped more weight, and regained hope. Now, after losing enough pounds, the question is whether it is sufficient. Let's wait and see if Dr. Now is finally going to approve her for the surgery at last.
Okay, everything looking good. I think we're gonna go ahead and approve your surgery at this point.
Excellent.
You excited?
Yes. Yes, sorry.